All right. Hello, everyone. Let me just give it a minute here. All right. So we are live. Can y'all hear me? All right. So we are live. Okay, good. Let me just get a few things situated here. Thank you, Coffee. Hello, Ohio Valley. All right, so we're just going to get started here. Trish in progress, hello. Good to see you guys. So if you're new here, welcome to our channel, Love and Life. My name is Karen, and my husband Rick and I put out content that focuses a little bit on emergency preparedness, organization, a little bit of medical and dental and herbal medicine, camping, and just some good old-fashioned fun. We live in a world that is constantly throwing stress and anxiety and fear in our face. And believe it or not, that can really wreak some havoc on your physical and mental health. So our channel tries to be a little more lighthearted, simple living, loving life, allowing yourself to have fun and learning to laugh again, while at the same time being prepared for when crap hits the fan, because we all know it's going to hit sooner or later. So that's a little bit about our channel. So if that's something that you're interested in, then just hit that like and subscribe button. We would appreciate it. Also, if you have any questions for Patti, who is my guest that I'm going to bring up here in a minute, write it all in capitals and then just and stick with us, because at the end of the stream, we're actually going to give away one of her books. So with that said, my guest tonight is a wonderful, amazing woman who puts all of her heart into everything that she does to help bring healing to your body, soul, and spirit. So please welcome my friend, Miss Patti McGee.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. Good. Weather down here is gorgeous in Georgia, so.
Oh, so you're just going to start like that, huh? Just brag? Yep. We're just happy it's in the 30s up here. It's like a heat wave.
Now you can do some winter camping.
I know, right? Yep. Oh my goodness. But tell everyone in the chat about yourself, because you're amazing.
Well, thank you. I am a 23-year breast cancer survivor, and that's where this journey really kicked off, was trauma from when I was a child in my junior high years. And I buried it through drinking. And then breast cancer came out at the age of 39. And I realized I wasn't living my best life. And I just set out to change it. And after going through the cancer, the chemo, the radiation, I was like, I got to do something different. So I went to massage school and became a massage therapist. And from there, I became an author of 2 books. I have a cancer book and then the book we're talking about tonight. And at age 50, I hadn't ridden a bike in 30 years. I decided to do a 100-mile bike ride for the Ride for Missing Children there in New York when I lived there. And I also did a Iron Girl Sprint triathlon. So we're never too old to try and change our lives. And
absolutely.
So I, got in the pool, swam the quarter mile, then we had to bike 18 miles and then run a 5K. So, and that was all at 50. So between 39 and 50, I just really changed my life.
Yeah, really, you did.
My life.
And, your testimony is amazing. We'll have to do another live stream on that one.
Yeah, I couldn't take the post-cancer drugs, so I had to find a way to make sure the cancer didn't return. And the only other way was to be healthy and holistic.
Yeah.
So that's really what got me into it. And then the cancer support group that I ran for like 14 years, we brought in holistic healers. And I learned so much from them about supplements and, breath work and everything like that. So it's been an incredible journey. You think you're settled in life with one thing, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And now I'm a speaker, a coach, life wellness coach, and massage therapist and author. And if anybody ever saw my report card, which it's on my Drip Theory website with my son, my senior year, you would be like, this girl wrote a couple books. I graduated with a home ec degree. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in turn, I have learned so much from you, and you kind of got me into the health kick and, changing the way I eat and getting rid of that famous snack drawer that I used to have.
Yep. Alternating it out, right? Like you just slowly and gradually, and just something clicks in your life, and I met you 12 years ago through Abundant Life, and my life has just changed. I was talking about that the other day. I listen to K-Love now, and that's all I listen to. And I said that somebody, because they were talking about the Bad Bunny halftime show, and I said, I don't really know. I know songs, but I don't know singers. I don't know groups, right?
Same here.
And
I don't pay attention.
So I couldn't say if his music's good, bad, whatever, but I only listen to K-Love when I'm in my car. And it took away the pain I was feeling that I could never get rid of, just listening to that. So it just was a blessing. And at that same time, I met you and all the other lovely ladies in the group and everything like that. And going to church, finding the kind of church that you love, right?
Yes.
That you love to go to. And, it was spirit filled. We all had, we all grew together from it.
Yeah, we did.
And
we were the two shyest in the group, and now we're on YouTube.
Yeah, the only two out on social media promoting health and wellness. Yeah. And so, you never know. You can't be afraid to try new things. That's what I keep telling everybody. We live in such a fearful world that you can't. You can't live in fear. So
yeah.
And so I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited to share, what this book is about, and how to just genuinely take your life to the next level if you want to.
Absolutely. And the name of your book is Morning Strength, and it's 5 easy exercises every woman can do before she puts on her bra.
Yeah.
My kind of book.
Yep, that was my title. I had to make sure that was in the title,
And if there's any men in the group in the chat here, don't. This is for you guys too. Just change it to before you put your boxers on.
Yeah.
So, and you can get this book for your wife for Valentine's Day. It's only 2 days away.
Yep.
So what was the whole reason behind writing Morning Strength?
Well, as a massage therapist, I've been massaging 18 years. And if I can back up even further than that, when I became the massage therapist, I was working in a nursing home in Oneida, New York, the extended care. And for like 3 years, and every day I stepped off the elevator on the second floor, and there were 4 chairs there, and there were always 4 ladies folded over at the waist, off to the side. They couldn't feed themselves. They couldn't hold themselves up. They couldn't brush their hair. And I weighed 208 pounds at the time. And I said, that's going to be me someday if I don't do something soon. It was like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
So that's when I started exercising, and all of my life changed there. Well, then I was a massage therapist at the time, and I decided, was listening to my clients and working in a spa. I worked at Turning Stone Scana Spa for 6 years, and now I'm in Georgia at a winery. And every woman, when men come in, they're like, they get on the table and they fall asleep. Women come in, they're like, I sit at a desk all day. It's my neck and my shoulders. And I go, what do you do for you? And they're like, nothing. So year after year after year, I've slowly just, took it all in. And I'm like, all right, I got to write this book. What are the best exercises? And what are the areas that really, because I created a protocol that I teach other massage therapists called Unlocking the Shoulder Girdle the Patti McGee way. And what can I teach them? Because I relieve the shoulders and the neck different than most massage therapists. I'm not going to say every massage therapist, but for the majority. Mm-hmm. I pinpoint the areas. Like I had a guy the other day, he goes, I like the elbow in the back. I go, I don't do elbows in the back. I'm sorry. I don't have to. I will find the spot that's actually the trigger to release the spot that's causing your pain. So just day after day, Fridays and Saturdays, I massage 8 people in a row. I get an hour lunch, and it's the same story day in and day out. And I was like, I've got to write this book. So I wrote it, and then I hired this editor, and she really did a phenomenal job with me putting it together, and it's, the finished product is just so beautiful compared to, the paper that I handed her.
Yeah, it is. Because I remember back in the early fall, early summer, you had sent me just like, the rough copy of it. And you were just like, can you just, read through it and make sure it sounds, okay and everything. And so, to actually see the finished product, the colors, the pictures in it, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it really came out fantastic. I'm very proud of it. So
you should
when I look at my cancer book compared to this book, and you really can't compare the two because that was therapeutic back then, 2011. That one is hope, an inspiring A to Z guide for cancer patients, survivors, and caregivers. And it was therapeutic for me. But this is like my baby. This, I want to go speak. I want to tour. I want to take it with me and help women around the world understand their body, because our body is royalty. Our organs are gems.
Yes.
And we don't treat it that way.
No, we don't.
When I talk to women on the massage table, I always say, men tell us, right? Husbands tell us, honey, I'm going to the gym. Honey, I'm going golfing. Honey, I'm going here. And we tap them on the shoulder and we go up to them gently and we say, honey, do you think you could watch the kids for an hour while I go get my nails done? Like we feel like we have to ask permission rather than taking it and saying, hey, I'm going to go to the gym after you watch the kids, or whatever it is, or let's go together. Right? We feel as women that we're supposed to step back and let them do everything because they bring in, the money usually or whatever. And we don't have to.
Right.
Our bodies are just as important. We feed our children with them. We, they're everything for us, and we have to realize that they're royalty.
Yes, definitely.
And that our organs are our crown jewels and our blood is liquid gold. Instead of cramming it with fast food and all of that, we have to really look at it as royalty and start treating it like royalty. And it's never too late, to start, to try. So
is this book for like a certain age group that you targeted, or is it for you
I
know.
targeted middle-aged women, 45 and over, but it's actually for anybody because it's about, we're going to talk about this, but habit stacking, creating that discipline to do something. It's for the woman who really doesn't want to go to the gym, doesn't like to sweat. I'll never forget, I was taking a class at the church in New York, and the pastor's wife was talking about hating sweating, and that stuck with me. She didn't like where she was with her body and all of that, but she didn't want to go to a gym in front of people, and she didn't like to sweat. So I kept that in mind as I wrote this.
And that's awesome, because I hate sweating too, like unless I'm like outside, like camping or whatever. But I think just from working in healthcare for like over 20 years, it kind of turned you into somewhat of a germaphobe a little bit, because I would go to the gym every now and then, but just like seeing other people like sweat over the machines, and then I'm going to use that. That's so gross. And like, there is no amount of bleach that I wish I had like the money for my own home gym. Then I wouldn't mind. But yeah, I don't like going to the gym either.
Well, I can show you how to set up a home gym for very little money if you have room. Like, seriously, I rent a gym here or a garage here, and I set it up with all my favorite equipment. And it probably cost me less than $1,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah. With a step box, a weight bench, some weights and kettlebells, just little things, a set of weights. It's not as expensive as you think if you have a garage at your house already or a spare room. You don't need a lot of equipment. I always told my first personal trainer that I could put a step box in front of her and she could create a full body routine out of it. She was that talented. So we don't need a ton of stuff. We just got to do it.
Absolutely. What can we expect to gain from the stretches and exercises in your book?
This book focuses on 3 areas. It's strength, flexibility, and balance. Those are the 3 areas that as we age, we fail at, and we end up in the hospitals. If you look at a lot of women who are hunched over, they shuffle their feet, right? So they can't hold themselves up. They can't move. And, so the purpose of the book is to focus on those 3 things and habit stack from something else that you're doing, so that you get the balance or the benefit of all of it.
Yeah, I mean, this book isn't, it's not like going to give you a 6-pack or, big bulging muscles or anything like that. That's not what.
No, that's not the purpose. The purpose is to keep you in your home longer, because we outlive men. Mm-hmm. For every 100 men in a nursing home, there's statistic, I can't remember who it's through. For every 100 men in a nursing home, there's 400 women.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. And we outlive them long, like 10, 20 years sometimes. So, and we end up in the nursing homes. The top 5 reasons that women end up in nursing homes have nothing to do with disease and illness. It all has to do with they can't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
When I read that statistic from the CDC, it was a 2016 statistic, I was floored. I was like, wow. Yes, it is because that's Ohio Valley prepping. It's because we work ourselves to death trying to take care of our families and provide a second income due to the world today, right? Mm-hmm. And we need this so we don't have to do that. So we don't have to work ourselves to death so much.
Yeah, because I remember when my grandmother was in the nursing home years ago and I would visit her. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I saw any men in the nursing
Yeah.
home.
Yep.
They were all women.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of them, they can't even hold themselves up. They're just kind of
They
like,
can't feed
because they're,
themselves. They can't bathe themselves. They can't open a jar. So that was the one of the premises also behind this book is how do we stay in our homes longer so that we can enjoy our families? Because once you get into a nursing home, I don't know why it's harder for people to go visit. I don't know if it's the fear of going into the nursing home,
yeah,
but it's very sad. When I was massaging there, there's so many people that did not come see their families.
yeah,
And then you're relying on an aide. The people that get the best care I saw were the ones who had family members there.
yep. My
You
mom
don't
was
have
there every
anybody.
day.
Yep. If you don't have anybody, then your shower gets pushed off.
Yeah,
And you're expecting a CNA who makes $9 an hour, $10 an hour, maybe 15 today to take
maybe.
care of not 100 people, but say 25 people in a day,
That's reasonable. Yep.
right? With one or two nurses on staff and then a head nurse, right? It's
Hmm.
it's insane what the shortage or the lack of staffing that they provide for these people.
Hmm.
If you can even afford to go into the nursing home, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So let alone get your teeth brushed or, anything like that. I saw bed sores. So I want to do everything that I can not to go.
Right. Me
Yep. And,
too.
and that's my goal. That's the premise with this book is to keep you in your home, keep you healthy enough, strong enough that you can stay in your home and not rely on that.
You do touch on a thing called breathe and brace. What's
Yes.
the significance of breathe and brace?
Breathe and brace is a technique that is very well known in the weightlifting world on how to properly use your body to weight lift. And it should be taught to every young girl, every woman, every child as we age. And I was actually down here. Now, I had worked with 3 or 4 personal trainers, up in New York and down here before I met the one down here that showed me how to actually brace my core. As women, we're taught to suck our stomachs in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even with some of my weightlifting, I was taught to suck in and push up. And I couldn't breathe properly. They shut off the blood flow to your stomach. Well, this guy turned it around. He was like, no, slightly push your stomach out. And you can see this on my YouTube. So I'm not worried if you see this one technique tonight. But if you breathe in slowly through your nose and slightly push your sides out and hold your sides and then talk normal, that holds you up. It brings your shoulders back where they should be. And then you can sit in your chair and raise your arms and type freely. Most people are like this,
Yeah. Type in. Mm-hmm.
or they're like this because the strain of their body and they're putting the strain on their back, right? They're not putting it in the core where they need it. So breathe and brace is something I go out to corporations and I teach because we do all the ergonomics. We get stand-up desks, sit down, stand up. We got treadmills going, right?
Yeah.
All you got to do is know how to hold your body. You're not putting strain on the shoulders and the back. It's all in the core.
Yeah. I had no idea there was even a proper way to breathe. And I
Yes.
think that's what it was out of everything in the book. That was the most challenging for me. It was learning how to breathe properly. Because I don't know what it is with me, but I tend to like hold my breath when I get my blood pressure done, or if I'm working out. I don't know why I hold my breath, but I just do. And so doing these exercises and then trying to like do the breathing with it, that part was a little challenging, but I got it now.
The easiest way to learn how to breathe in through your nose is to lay on your stomach. You automatically pretty much go into nose breathing.
Okay.
but it's just a nice, to calm yourself down, keep your shoulders where they need to be. It's just a nice. Now there's a ton of breath work out there that you can do. There's, box breathing of 4-4-4, 8-4, 8-2. I mean, there's all kinds of different types of breathing you can learn if you look it up. This one I just love for calming and to get your body in position. So I put this in here because when I do ask people to breathe in, like we do aromatherapy where I am, and I'll say breathe in, and they go and they breathe in through their mouth. Okay. And I'm like, no, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth.
Yeah.
And because when we breathe in through our mouth, we hold the air here in our upper chest. It never goes down throughout the body, into the stomach, into the low back. We don't realize that. So when you breathe in, do belly breathing, it gets the blood pumping. It gets it going.
Nice.
So just, it's so important in life, and it's calming. So if you have a child who's can get unruly or gets, really excited and stuff, and you can't calm them down, teach them how to breathe in through their nose, out through their mouth, in through their nose. That should be an everyday practice for families. Calm down, let's relax, let's, just sit. And
I do medical coding for pediatrics, and some of the doctors, they do recommend that for the, telling the parent, especially for their kids that have ADHD and or just like are really, get excited, and just to calm them down, they do tell them to do breathing techniques.
Yeah, there's one picture I wish I had put in the book that it just actually dawned on me. In 2018, I went to Haiti on a missions trip, and we followed this lady to the well. I want to say it was a half mile that we walked, maybe 3/4 of a mile, and she had a 5-gallon jug and a 1-gallon jug, and I have video of everything, right, and pictures, but she filled up the 5-gallon jug, and then she filled up the 1-gallon jug. She put the 5-gallon jug on her head and carried the 1-gallon jug back. And her sandals are falling off her heels. And I'm like, that's the epitome of strength.
Yeah.
And I had been working out with the personal trainers and everything, and I'm like, I can do that, right? 5-gallon jug, It's been it was like 4 years since I had been working out with my trainer. So I come back and I get the jug about to here. I can't get it on my head, let alone take one step with it. It would have crushed my neck.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I carry those 5-gallon water jugs for our water cooler sometimes. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine putting that on my head. That's crazy.
And she has to do this every day.
Wow.
And I came back. They don't have electricity. They get electricity from the government 1 hour a day, and it usually comes in the middle of the night. They don't have hot water. They have PVC pipes sticking out of their pipes, and it just runs down. You have to take quick showers. You only flush the toilet if you go number 2. You don't flush it any other time until it fills up, and then you have to flush it or put water in it. Just to watch them live. It's like living off the grid, but even more so with their strength and everything that they have to do to get that water, right?
That's
and
why
it just changed me. It changed how I saw life again. Like, we're so spoiled. Our first world problems that we all see out there every day that we argue about are nothing compared to what they live on a daily basis. And now the gangs have taken over. It started when I was there. We didn't know if we were going to get out of there or not. And it started then in October of 2018. And now the gangs have just taken over the whole city, everything. and
Wow.
there's no president or anything. So I feel bad for them because they're not getting the food that they need, the medicine. They're not getting the groups of missionaries coming in to help there. So that really was an eye opener, and part of the reason that I did this book also is it's our core that we need to focus on.
Yes, absolutely. Are these exercises just good for like morning only, or can you do them throughout the day?
You can do
'Cause
them anytime.
anytime. Okay.
Anytime. The reason I call it morning strength is about the habit stacking. Okay.
Which was my next question, so go ahead.
Okay. So habit stacking is incorporating it into something that you already do. So while you go out and push your brewing for your coffee, the button for that, I don't drink coffee, so I never have to do that. But while your coffee's brewing, you do an exercise. After you use the bathroom for the morning, you do an exercise. Before you get out of bed, you're doing an exercise. And it's so important. It gets your metabolism going. It gets you moving. Back when I worked at the YWCA in the late 1980s, I was introduced to circuit training. And I fell in love with it. And it's just where you spend so many minutes doing something, right? An exercise. And then you move to the next one and the next one. And I just loved it because my attention span isn't to do something for a very long time. And so I see this as like that, doing a circuit, right? You do this circuit, and you can do it 3 times, you can do it 5, you can do it once. Whatever you feel you need. And you can go back to it all day long. So
yeah, because now when I'm brewing my coffee, instead of just sitting there like looking at it saying hurry up, I'm doing my exercise and still saying hurry up. But I love the the one stretch and the other exercise that you do right from bed, right when you wake up. Those are my 2 favorites, because it does, once you start combining all the exercises, I mean, your body feels completely different, awake, alive. It's, versus not doing it. Like I didn't do it yesterday on purpose because I just wanted to see. And yeah, there's a difference when, versus not doing it versus when you actually do it. And when all the exercises are combined, how many minutes total are you taking out of your day?
Right, like 10.
Exactly.
Like 10 to 15 minutes out of your day. Yep. And you could do them at lunchtime. You could do them in the morning, you could do them at lunchtime, you could do them at dinner time. There's no schedule to it.
Yep.
Michelle or Mel Robbins, she formed her 5-second morning to get out of bed through a study that she read, because a lot of people were depressed. She couldn't get out of bed. So she has this technique where if you can't get out of bed, you count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you make yourself get up. And I found that doing an exercise before you get out of bed or a stretch gets your metabolism going, and you want to get out of bed happier.
It does.
You're refreshed. And then you go about your day. For all you coffee lovers in the chat there that say you have to have your sip of coffee first before anything else, just
come on,
get up and do those exercises before you get out of bed. The one exercise and the couple stretches, and you'll feel good right then. And then go get your coffee going.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
And it is fasted. There's no food involved in it and all of that. It's just 5. They're really simple, 5 easy exercises that you can do.
Yeah, and you can add weights to it if you wanted to, but you don't have to.
Yep. No, you don't have to. It's all about the body. This was supposed to be simple. This is supposed to just get you moving, back to sleep.
That sounds like Ohio Valley.
I have an alarm, but I don't ever have to use it. I wake up an hour and a half before it even goes off. It's like I set it for 7 o'clock just in case I ever oversleep.
Yeah.
But I'm always up around 5:30, 6 o'clock, like clockwork.
Yeah, same here.
I never understood my mother when she got up early. Now I do.
And that's what that's like what I love most about your book is each stretch and exercise you give is step-by-step instructions on what you need to do and how to do it, and then also what not to do.
Yes.
You include which muscle groups are targeted with each exercise. You provide the benefits of what each exercise does for you. And you're very encouraging throughout the book. It's not pushy. It's not to reach, a certain goal fast. It's all about listening to your body and going at your pace. And I do actually want to read a little something off of page 75, because it's not just here's your exercises, do them. It really is more personable.
Yep.
And you started by saying, at the heart of morning strength is a simple yet profound truth. Living your best life starts with taking small intentional steps daily. This was a lesson I learned when my breast cancer diagnosis stopped me in my tracks. I was forced to confront how I was living. Yes, treatments were grueling, but even before my diagnosis, I'd been neglecting my health and giving life's demands more attention than my well-being. I realized how disconnected I was from my body, and that became a turning point for me. I didn't want to live the rest of my life feeling like I had been broken beyond repair. I started doing gentle stretches and exercises like the ones in this book in the morning. For me, they became more than just exercises. They were physical, mental, and spiritual acts of healing that slowly and surely rebuilt my strength. Doing them, I rediscovered my confidence and transformed my life. There's no getting around the fact that sometimes life challenges us. I just want you to know that you don't have to let any physical challenges you faced define you. It's your body, and there are choices that you can make, like taking advantage of these stretches and exercises. They're a chance for you to make a daily choice to nurture your body and move towards more vibrant, independent future. Taking these simple steps each morning is you choosing to live your best life, one empowered moment at a time.
Yep.
And I love it. I love that.
Yeah. Because it's about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about me. It's not, it's about how we choose our life every day. And I choose to live it happy.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to see the good in the world. It's not that I don't see the bad, but
Right.
I choose not to let the bad outweigh the good, because there's really good people around us, really good. And, stop holding grudges, stop being negative, and really learn how to communicate with people, because that's what it's about. And this book here, one of my favorite one is on strength. On page 13, the quote, it says, "Strength isn't just in our muscles. It's in the mindful pause between our inhale and exhale where courage is quietly built."
Mm-hmm.
And it is about courage. It's about changing. When I first quit drinking back in 2013, it was probably one of the most courageous things other than cancer that I did, because I drank heavily for 39 years. And when I quit abruptly, people would open drinks and put them in front of me and say, "You do want this," because they were so used to the drunk Patty, right?
Right.
That they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. And
They wanted the old Patty back.
they wanted me to stay where I was, and I just couldn't. And I was reading in the Bible this week about being called to be more as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me. I'm being called to be more. I have been called to be more. And I'm finally learning that and accepting it, right? And congratulations. Is that Trish in progress?
Trish. Yep, Trish in progress. Yep.
You know, and people walk away from you.
Yeah.
When you want to change.
And move forward.
And move forward in your life, right? They just don't understand it because they're so used to the old you. And sometimes it's hard not to go back. Like when you're in the tough moments, and you don't understand, and your body's breaking down, and everything's going on around you, your family's calling you nuts. I mean, they were telling me I joined a cult and I went to the church, and because it was all happening at the same time, right? And I'm like, no, I found something that I finally love, something that I finally feel good about, something that really makes me happy. And I pushed through it. And there were some tough moments, you went through some with me, through it all, my mom's death, my dad's death, 2017, 2018, I had 9 people die in 9 months, 10 people die in 9 months. It was pretty grueling.
Yeah.
And then, friendship things. And so Trish, I always thought I was a funny drunk until I quit drinking and my son told me I was a mean drunk. I was like, oof, wow. That took courage for him to say that. He was like 12, 13, 14, maybe he was 16 at the time. But still, that's tough for a child to say. You were a mean drunk. And now that I've been sober all these years, I see the mean drunk in people. Even though they think they're funny, they're still mean.
Yeah.
And, alcohol gives you an excuse. And but yeah, I don't regret any of it. It's been 12 years, and I'm in my 12th year. And you have to be you in those moments and make those decisions. What's good? Could I have a drink today? Absolutely. I am not that same person I was, 12 years ago and beyond. I just choose not to.
Right.
I just choose not to. I never had to go into recovery. I quit, similar to, Rick's story. I quit just like that, driving down the road drunk, and never really looked back with it. So I was fortunate. I was more of an abuser than an alcoholic. And but yeah, it just, everything that I do now has purpose to it, where before I was just hiding. And I've learned how to communicate. I've learned how to move forward so that I don't let anything bother me. I try not.
That's why you're an awesome life coach. I mean, you have so much, you've been through so much.
Yeah.
It's amazing just how many people that you have helped over these past few years, and what you're going to go on to do is incredible.
Yeah, I just created a new coaching program. It's just, it's called The Solutionist, and it's you for $200. You call me, and for 75 minutes, we'll get a solution to what you're dealing with at that moment. And
awesome.
Yeah.
And where can people find you? Like, what platforms do you have, and where can we purchase your book?
You can purchase the book on Amazon,
which I'll put a link in also.
Right now, that's the only place it is because it just came out. I will be in March, I believe. I don't have the date. Doing the ebook because I'm all new to that, and then I'm on social media as Patti McGee or The Hydrated Life. I have a face or a YouTube channel, The Hydrated Life. I have I'm on TikTok as Patti McGee Official. I'm on Instagram as Patti McGee Official. I'm on Facebook as Patti McGee, and I have a Hydrated Life page and a Morning Strength page. And Facebook, yeah. So I'm on all the social medias, and then yeah, and then I can get links if anybody's looking for coaching for one session. I had a lady call me last night. It was one of the most beautiful sessions I've ever done. Really struggling, headaches. Thank you, Trish. Headaches, different things going on, and what it came down to was grief.
Yeah.
So by the end of the session, I had outlined steps for her to take care of. She did them this morning, and she already feels better. Not totally, but she knows the direction that she's going in.
Right.
And sometimes we just need that. We don't need a 12-week coaching program. That's one thing I found when I was looking for coaches. Everything was 10 weeks, 12 weeks, a year. Sure, coffee first. I would love to be on.
I was thinking about that earlier too. I'm like, you two would be great.
But, we don't need all this stuff that's out there.
Right.
It's all fluff. Most of the people that say they're making all this money, they're just taking people's time and money, to be honest. Right. I feel, and unless you find a really good coach, and I've had a couple. The spiritual trauma counselor that I worked with for a long time, Faith.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Phenomenal. Yeah. She helped me through the mother wound, the father wound, the sibling and friend wound, and just incredible. And that might be my next book, is something about that. I've been really thinking, I want to tie the mental in along with the physical. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think, and see how that would all work. But yeah, I believe in counseling. I believe in all of it to work. Sound bowl healing, energy healing, and prayer. It all has its place.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So all my socials, just look up Patti McGee. Don't look up the skateboarder. There's a professional skateboarder of Patti McGee. She spells it with a Y. I spell it with a Y or an I. And she has
come on, you don't want to take up skateboarding.
Well, she has since passed on. But yeah. And it just is, life is beautiful when you let it be. Mm-hmm. And you get away from all that negativity, all that stress, everything. I was watching a video today of a guy holding a glass of water. He poured water into a cup, and he was asking his class, how heavy is this glass of water? And they were like 6 ounces, 8 ounces. And he's like, it depends on how long you hold it. Mm. So if you take a stressful situation, if you think about it, let it go, you don't hold the stress, you don't hold that weight. But if you ruminate about it, the longer you hold it, the more it creates, the heavier it gets, right? And it's the same analogy of the glass. If you hold it all day long, your hand goes numb, your arm gets weak. And I thought that was a great analogy for the stress in our life. So.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's why forgiveness, I always say, sometimes forgiveness isn't, it's not so much for you, it's for the other person, to just letting, or that situation, just letting it go. And
it is for you.
Yeah.
It's
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just not harboring that, the bitterness and the hurts, because it's not worth it.
Yep. And forgiveness of self. I
Mm-hmm.
learned that I had to forgive myself of the things that I thought were terrible that I did throughout life, you know, and that was a beautiful release, very beautiful. When I could love myself. I got a quick story. I don't know how. Hi, Wolfgang.
Wolfgang, yay.
Everybody. Um, Back in 2022, I went to a deliverance conference. Never been. I think I messaged you throughout it too, a little
Yep.
bit.
Yep.
Um, Never been. Lady bought me a ticket, and I went, and it was the craziest thing. But they were calling out demons and spirits, and people were falling over, and I was like, "What is going on here?" You know, little kids were crying. They brought little kids. They thought their parent or grandparent had died. They were stepping over people who passed out, shaking hands with other people as they stood over them, and I was like, "This is a crazy scene."
Yeah.
But somebody, the second day, we were worshiping, calling out things for people, and somebody had snapped a selfie of the other two ladies I was with, so the three of us. And I happened to open it up in the middle of it. And as I saw through my eyes. And for the first time in my life, I went, wow, you're beautiful. I had never seen my true beauty ever. And once I saw that, I was like, this is nothing. This is what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Our true beauty on the inside is incredible. And when you can see that, you aren't that person, that monster, that whatever you think you got going on at all. You are beautiful. Beautiful. And then I read the book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Oh, if you, any of your viewers need a good book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior is a phenomenal read.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
I read that.
really shows you how to live in this world with the knowledge that you have, especially if you're called to be more. You're called to live at a higher level, you know, not due to ego, but just because you're called to do things, you know. Incredible book, I thought. Don't watch the movie on TV. It's terrible. It's horrendous. But
the books are usually better.
Yeah, the book is phenomenal. And highly recommend it. So between seeing my true beauty, reading that, I was like at the most peaceful I have been ever. And, you know, awesome. Makeups to make us look nicer to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because my true beauty now is on the inside. I saw it and I live it. You know,
and you can see it.
It's something that somebody can't take away from you at all. No haircut, no makeup, no nothing will ever, you know, do that. So it's just been, life's been a blessing since I had the cancer. And most people are like, you can't say that, you know, how do you find a blessing? I've gotten 23 more years out of life than a lot of cancer patients.
Yeah.
You know, and as we age, you know, we don't know how many more breaths we get, how many more days we get. We have to live them happy.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I always say, you know, sometimes you just need to disconnect from all the social media, the news, you know, just everything. It's like you have to disconnect in order to reconnect with yourself and with life and with, you know, just learning to laugh again. Like me and Rick talk about it all the time. The 80s decade was like the best decade ever. Best music, best movies, just carefree. And it's just like, when's the last time you had a really good just laugh and, you know, just disconnect and do something that you love.
You want a good laugh, call our friend Michelle. She,
yeah.
Her and I get together. We'll be on the phone an hour and a half just laughing things. It's just funny, you know.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left, so we're going to actually go ahead and give away one of your books, Morning Strength, to someone in the chat.
Okay.
So I figure we have 8 people in the chat. So Patty, if you can think of a number between like 1 and 10.
Okay.
And then once you have that number, let me know.
I texted you it.
Yep, I just saw it. All right, so if you guys want a copy of Morning Strength, you can start putting in your numbers now, 1 through 10. And then whoever comes up first. Keep going.
What's that saying? Close but no cigar.
Oh, keep going. Keep going.
Coffee really wants it. There you go. We got a winner. We got a winner.
Happy 3. All right. All right. So let me.
Congratulations, Turk by V1. What is it?
Yep. I call him Tuck. Yeah, Tuck by.
Tuck by.
Tuck by. All right. So Tuck, let me put in. Oops. If I can even spell it correctly.
All of you enough that view this. It's really been an honor. Thank you for the support. If you know of any groups that need someone to speak to them, I am looking to travel and speak. And
send it to Coffee instead. All right, so Coffee, why don't you email me? I just posted it, loveandlife3121@gmail.com. Yeah, email me your address, and then I will put this in the mail. To you tomorrow or by Saturday. So, well, that was nice of you, Tuck.
Yes.
But yeah, and then this has been great, Patty. Yeah. I'm so glad that we got to do that, got to do this.
Yes, you're a good host.
I try.
To watch both of our journeys over the last 12 years, really. I think that night that we were sitting at our friend Char's house and neither one of us wanted anybody to talk to us and we just were talking next to each other, right?
Yeah. That's what I do when I'm at like a place where like I don't know anybody. I like try to like zoom in on the shyest person and then that person becomes my friend because neither one of us want to talk really.
Yep. And then you showing us your snack jar, that was so funny.
Yeah. Trish in progress. That's awesome.
Thanks, Trish. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and leave a review on Amazon too, because it literally just came out. So I don't think you have any reviews yet.
No, I got to get people now that they have it to put them on Amazon. It's so new.
Yeah, I can't. I have to leave one on Rick's Amazon page because Amazon cut me off from making comments for like the last 3 years because they said I broke their guidelines. And the only thing I can pin it to was I bought this really nice kitchen hutch that, you have to put together, which I absolutely love putting things together. It's just like, it's very therapeutic for me and relaxing. And it's beautiful. It came out perfect. And I gave it a 5-star, but the only like slightly negative thing that I said about it was that some of the instructions on the pages, they were like really wrong. I mean, they just had like the pictures didn't line up and everything. And I said it was still easy enough to figure out and it'll be well worth it in the end. That was like the only negative like thing I said. And ever since then, I'm like, what? I've seen people leave worse reviews than that.
Yeah, you should reach out to them and see what.
I have. I can't get a hold of anybody.
Oh, wow.
So
Put it in AI. Ask them what the process is.
Oh yeah,
Now
that's a
that we
good
got
idea.
that, you
I
know,
should.
now that we have that.
But yeah, it's 8 o'clock. So any closing
Okay. Well, thank
words
you.
of inspiration as we close, Patty?
Don't be afraid to live life. Try new things. I don't think you were a camper before you became one, correct? Like you.
Whoa. Maybe sleep in a tent. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? And
I love it.
we're meant to grow.
Mm-hmm.
We're meant to change. We're meant to change our minds about some things that we thought, the way we were raised were the only way.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to go against the norm with it, and live your life. Treat your body like royalty. You deserve it. Your blood is liquid gold. Your organs are your crown jewels. And go out and live life.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining
Thank
us.
you.
This was fun. So,
Yes.
and yeah, coffee, send me your address and I'll get this out in the mail to you. You're going to love it.
Yep.
So, everyone have a great night and we will see you next time.
Yes. Thank you all.